Today on Getting Real with the Housewives, Teddi Mellencamp breaks down her feud with Jim Edmonds.
If my husband were to send a text message to an ex-housewife who did a podcast, I would be like, you have got to be kidding me. Get busier.
Sutton Stracke reveals if she can ever be friends with Erika Jayne.
I'm always open to talking to people and getting to know them better. But, right now, I'm good with where we are.
Real Housewives of Dubai star Sara Al-Madini discusses her intense fight with Caroline Brooks.
I'm a friend that's going to celebrate your highs and be there for you for your lows. So I believe true friendship is not just sitting and gossiping, talking about boys or what am I buying next. It's also about self-growth.
Plus, host of Hulu's The Hotties, Jade Catapretta, helps us break down all the Housewives drama, including Taylor joining the OC and Lisa Hochstein's messy split. We've got that plus so much more on today's Getting Real with the Housewives. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here, and I'm so excited to be joined by the host of Hulu's The Hotties, Jade Catapretta. Jade, thank you so much for joining me today.
Good morning. Pew, 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 pew. So excited to talk Housewives, tell you guys about my new show. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Before we get into the Housewives, because I know you're a big Housewives fan, tell everybody all about this great new show that you have on Hulu, The Hotties. It is so much fun. This blind food date competition show, right?
Yes, very excited. First of all, we're nail twins. I just noticed.
Nail twins.
Well, I love a good dating show, and then you add a cooking competition to that. Brain exploded. And then you add heat challenges. I mean, who doesn't like watching people eat spicy stuff on a date and then, try not to throw up and then kiss? I mean, it's just debauchery. And we had really great people on the show. And so, it's just, there's never been a show like this, that mixes all the aspects together. Mm-hmm. So we're just a big clown car and we love it.
I love that so much. Would this be a way for you to find love?
No, I like to just judge other people on the show and then I quietly keep it to myself. I actually did meet my boyfriend because I made fun of him when I was on The Soup. Reality show, and I made fun of him that way. So you never know who you're going to meet.
You never know. I know. Yeah. What was it like hosting this series where you're like, I can't believe that these people are actually doing this?
Yeah, I was surprised because some people were really affected by the peppers and some people had they were just like drinking water or nothing. I was just shocked at how many people were so good at eating spicy stuff because I'm a total puss. Like I can't even do red hot barely. So
seriously,
same here. You guys have stomachs that you're going to be punished for this later, but I'm glad you're doing it now.
Totally. What else do you have coming up? I know you wrapped the hosting the show. So what do you have coming up next?
Yeah, I just wrapped hosting the show. Comes out August 16th. And I also am dropping my very first comedy special that I've been working on for just 14 years. And that's going to be coming out on Helium Comedy Presents on my YouTube. And then I also did a musical version of my special that's also coming out. So we've been busy over here editing, trying to make my sound, like my voice sound less Fran Dreschery on the special. And I can't wait for people to see it.
That sounds amazing. Going to be a busy month for you. I love it. But, you're here also to talk about Housewives. So I have to ask before we get into it, do you have a favorite Housewife franchise, a favorite Housewife of all time?
I mean, yes, of course. I am a ride or die Lisa Rinna fan. If you guys look on my Instagram, I put her wig on and dance a lot. I love her. And I'm, of course, Countess Luann. I used to open for her. I'm very good friends with her and her family. So I have a soft spot for those two. New York is my favorite. Absolute, and Beverly Hills. Those are my two ride or dies. What about you? What's your favorite?
Well, Beverly Hills, definitely. Hands down. I mean, I have to give it to, I am a Jersey girl, so I have to, stay with my girls. Teresa, of course. So we're going to talk about her. So, but Beverly Hills, New York. I mean, how can you not love New York? I mean, I love them all. I mean, I have a soft spot for them all.
But the vacation series, those are really stepping it up.
The second season of Ultimate Girls Trip was, I mean, we need to get these girls together.
I mean, I want to see them in like a funny situation or like a funny location,
Yes.
Like out of the manor so Dorinda can chill.
Right.
And then, well, they'll have some fun finally,
Have some fun. Well, speaking of our Ultimate Girls Trip, Taylor Armstrong, of course, was a member of that cast, but she is now returning to the Housewives. she is headed to the OC and making history as the first housewife to move franchises. Of course, she was one of the founding members of Beverly Hills when it premiered back in 2010. And after remaining on the shows for 3 seasons, she was a guest of numerous seasons. She left, but now she is a part of Orange County. What do you think about this? Are you so excited about Taylor returning?
She needs a break. I mean, she's gone through so much. I just want to see her thrive and have fun. And it's fun because Taylor, you think, oh, she's so quiet into herself, and then she just
snaps.
Yeah, when she went off at Manor, I was like, wow, bring her back. She's got it in her still.
Bring her back, yes.
Yeah, she's got fire.
She does. I mean, I spoke to Teddy Mellencamp about this recently too, and I'd love to get your opinion. I mean, what do you think Vicky thinks about this? I mean, I'm sure she's not very happy with Tamra back, Taylor back as a friend.
I don't know. I think that Vicky's turning a leaf as well. I think she's become more calm in her older age, and she just went through this breakup. So maybe she is kind of in a more welcoming mood of I'm single and I want to go out with girlfriends and find a man. So I don't know. I mean, they seem chill on the Manor. They were just hanging out.
That's
there was
true.
no drama between them. So I feel like it'll be smooth sailing until it's not.
Until it's not. Well, speaking of things that are not smooth sailing, Jim Edmonds, and who of course was married to Meghan King Edmonds, and his fiance Courtney O'Connor shared their wedding invites after Teddy Mellencamp threw shade at their wedding. So they're set to get married in September in Italy. But this all started because Meghan King was on Teddy's podcast, and Teddy revealed the wedding invite. She said, "I'm sorry, this is very cringe. I just have to read it. It says, ladies, be inspired by your favorite Bond girl, gentleman, black tie, or a white coat like James Bond." 2 days later, Teddy revealed that Jim wasn't happy that she read the invitations on the podcast. She shared their text messages. Well, I caught up with Teddy to get the full scoop about what happened. So take a look. Were you shocked that he reached out to you when you saw those DMs or text messages? Were you like, I can't believe this is really happening right now?
I actually wasn't shocked because from everything that I saw of him on Orange County, it kind of just played right into exactly who I thought he was. Mm-hmm. And it's someone that, take a joke. I mean, take a joke. At this point, and Meghan had nothing to do with it. She came in. I had just gotten sitting at. I'm on a podcast where we talk crap. I mean, that's what the podcast is. And, this over the top invite came, and I saw it and made a joke of it. And that is what it is. But I don't know what he expected me to respond. Mm-hmm. And why it became such a dramatic thing, especially when she'd already posted it. And his guests had already posted it, which is how I got it.
I mean, whose side are you on in this one? Are you team Jim or team Teddy?
This is hard. I just think it's hard with podcasting because, you just want to talk but it affects people. It's, I don't know, sharing their wedding. I mean, don't get me wrong. The wedding sounds like a college party, but but also it's their private thing with their private friends. And I just think don't share, just keep some stuff private,
I agree with you. It definitely keeps some stuff private. And then she released the text messages, and she said she released the text messages because it was the only way to really get him to stop harassing her. And, but I get it. I get that he'd be mad that his location is leaked, but then they ended up leaking it themselves anyway and posting it online. Yes. So they I
don't know. So that's,
I don't know. It's very suspect, but I would love to see what everybody else thinks in the comments. Are you team Jim or team Teddy on this one? I don't know. But somebody that is gearing up for their wedding, and is literally just days away, Teresa Giudice. She celebrated her bridal shower. So excited with several members of the Real Housewives of New Jersey castmates. She was gathered with her nearest and dearest, including Jennifer Aydin, Dolores, Melissa, Margaret was there, Jackie, as well as Danielle Cabral, who was set to appear on the upcoming season. We also confirmed that Teresa is getting a Bravo spinoff for the wedding, which I'm so excited about.
I have goosebumps.
Yes, serious goosebumps. I mean, are you so excited to see what she's going to wear? Who maybe last minute changes to the bridal party? Who knows?
I just want to see who's going to piss her off. I just want to be, she shouldn't have done. I just want to see. I just want to see her enjoy the day. She deserves this. Another person who's gone through so much, and we love to make fun of how crazy she gets, but she she loves really hard.
She does love really hard.
It's like a very Italian, like, I just want to see them all get along and have a good time. Dolores dancing on the table, maybe, just get them together. Let's have a good time.
Are you shocked that she and Margaret seem to have buried whatever that happened last season? Because that was really messy.
They've been friends for a long. I can just imagine her like, well, we've been friends for a long time. They've been friends for a long time, and this is such a big occasion. And also, if there's going to be a spinoff, she wants all the characters involved. So I think let bygones be by. And what were they really even fighting about? Her talking about things that were already in the press, like
exactly. Yes, it seems like
when you watch back, you realize, so I think things get a little more resolved after they do the reunion, and they like have some time to like cool off, and they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been so mad. Right. It will be interesting now that, obviously we know that Melissa's not in the bridal party, and, just being there as a guest should be interesting. And then there was some. She can be part of my wedding. Yes. That'd be just random. I just want her to be my honor. I love it. Well, this is a really messy situation. So after splitting from her husband, Lenny Hochstein, in May, the Real Housewives of Miami star faced a legal battle when Lenny's girlfriend, Katharina filed a restraining order against Lisa and told us, I have been a victim of cyberbullying, intimidation, and harassment from Lisa Hochstein. Lisa denying these claims and calling them ridiculous is unfortunately just another lie and another deceptive tactic to portray herself. My attorneys and myself have evidence to back up every claim I have made in a restraining order filing. Lisa denied the allegations, telling us she didn't have any respect for my life, my children, or my family. Why should I have any respect for her attempt at a sob story? I'm not going to waste my time and energy responding to a woman who is a self-proclaimed homewrecker who does nothing but lie. She's writing her own version of reality, and I can't wait for my day in court to showcase the truth. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Is this Lisa from Miami? Okay, Miami. I was going to say, is this Lisa or Utah Lisa? Because those sound similar. They sound similar sometimes. They do sound similar. Yes. No, this is Lisa from Miami. They are currently filming the next season of the show. So this will definitely all play out in the upcoming season, which I can't wait for. Obviously, it's a shame that her life is just imploding, but it will make for great television. He's us, and we think we have issues. It's like add press to that. I can't imagine what it's like. You're having a fight with your girlfriend, and then they add it a newspaper, and then everybody sees it and gets so blown out of proportion. And that's just a storyline of a dog. Right. Of a whole friendship, Seriously. All right, well, let's get into our Housewives real talk. And we recently caught up with Sutton Stracke, who opened up about her tense relationship with Diana and where she stands with Erika Jayne. Take a look. You and Erika sometimes seem to be on a good page this season, and then other times she's, calling you a liability to Garcelle. Why do you think Erika continues to flip-flop on your friendship?
Well, probably because we don't have a friendship.
Okay.
We have, we can be very cordial, and that's it.
Yeah. Do you want to have a friendship with her?
I mean, I'm always open to talking to people and getting to know them better. But, right now, I'm good with where we are. Like we can make some funny comments, and we can sit at a dinner table together. And I think that's a good place for us. It's just like, it's good.
Good.
Calm.
It's good, cordial and calm. But do you believe when she says, oh, Sutton, I like you, do you ever trust her the way that you used to prior to the season before?
No, I would be an idiot if I trusted that.
What did you make of, obviously her drinking is a big cause of conversation this season. Did you feel like it was a cause for concern?
Well, so again, it goes back with Erika. I just don't trust anything because I don't know what's real and what's not. And, but I was not at Diana's Christmas party, and watching it, I was like, okay, that's different behavior. In Mexico, we're in Mexico, and also, it's a sensitive subject for me with my father's suicide and taking antidepressants and drinking. That's it's a typical thing with depression. So, if that's something that was happening, I was going to get concerned. I'm not in that place with Erika where I'm going to go up and say something. That's not a good idea.
Do you want to see Sutton and Erika become friends? I know we're going to break this all down a little bit more when we recap the episodes, but it just seems like, and I say in my interview with Sutton, it seems like Erika doesn't know whether or not she wants to be friends with Sutton or not. It just seems like she flip-flops so much on this friendship.
I think they all kind of flip-flop on Sutton. They're all like, also I flip-flop constantly. I'm like, okay, I see. She's just lonely maybe, or like going through something. And then I'm like, no, she's nuts. And, so I go back and forth. So I don't know. I can't imagine the two of them being friends, but maybe it's like one of those unlikely.
Right, exactly.
It's like a mouse and a cat, just like they just happen to be friends. I want to see everybody get along also.
I do too.
Like, I have
right.
that part.
Totally. Well, we also caught up with Sarah Al-Madani to get her take on that intense argument with Caroline Brooks. Take a look. Who would you say out of all the women has changed the most then since the show started airing?
Nina became stronger as a person. Caroline Brooks became one of our good friends. So she evolved and she overcame the influence of being a negative person that was done by others, and she unchained herself, and she's just a great friend.
But I mean, I'm sure that's going to be interesting for people to hear after watching such the intense fight that the two of you had over the course of the last few episodes. I mean, watching back, what happened do you have any regrets about what you said to her in that moment about her son?
To be honest, I don't have any regrets, because the conversation, as you can see when it started, I said, can I say something? I asked for permission, and I told her, I don't know anything about your kid and you. Like, I obviously don't know about your relationship, which means don't take what I say as me telling you how to be a mom. Mm-hmm. I was just telling her, be better, be more, I'm not a yes friend. I'm a friend that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Yeah. I'm a friend that's going to celebrate your highs and be there for you for your lows. So I believe true friendship is not just sitting and gossiping, talking about boys or what am I buying next. It's also about self-growth and telling each other how to be better people. That's it. So it was more of an advice for her from a loving place. And when I told her you need to be close with your son, not to your son, because boarding school is far. So be close with your son. So that's all I meant. I did not mean it in any way that was like demeaning the way she raises him. I've never seen them together to have a judgment. Mm-hmm. And when I was telling her you should go tuck him in, it's because when they said goodbye to each other, she looked at him with like this puppy face. I felt like maybe she wants to go upstairs with her son, but she has guests. Yeah. So I said, maybe you should go tuck him in. And, us, we're okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It was all from a loving place. It was never intended to show her how to raise her kid, Right. But she was told a lot of negative things about me. I was told a lot of negative things about her from Lisa and Ayan. So my only regret is I wish I never listened to them, and I've given her a chance so we can be real friends like we are right now.
Yeah. Watching it back on Caroline's viewpoint, did she ever apologize? Because she said over and over again that you said that she needed to be more affectionate with her son, which you didn't.
Hear that?
Yeah, no, which you didn't say. Did she ever apologize for
she did. I apologized, and she apologized because, maybe what I said sounded bad to her. And plus, like, she drank a little bit that day and her friends were like going at her a lot. Mm-hmm. So maybe she felt attacked. Yeah. Because at the beginning of the conversation, we were not fighting. She was talking and giving and taking in a very mature form. But when her friend kind of like said, you're cold-hearted, you don't treat that, you don't do that. So I felt that ticked her off. And then she started screaming at everybody. Right. Yeah. It was clearly a hit a nerve, I guess. Right. Yes. Yeah. Did you, because I watched tonight's episode, do you feel that apology, obviously you guys are friends now, but did you feel in that moment that apology was sincere? Yes, because as a person, I believe that, give people chances. And plus, like, I've been told so many things about her from the other girls, like Lisa and Ayan. What if she's been told things? Let me get to know her better. I believe in giving chances. I don't believe in cutting people off right away. So yeah, I believe that, you know, she didn't mean it.
So let's break all this down. Let's break down our Real Housewives rewind, starting with Dubai. Whose side are you on in this Caroline, Sarah drama? I mean, it seems like they're really good friends now, but I mean, you kind of don't go after somebody's parenting skills.
And I understand where she's coming from, what she's trying to do. She's trying to be a friend and go, hey, I'm really trying to break this traditional, my mom was like this, I don't want to be like this. Because she's trying to do it with her kid too, like eating on the ground, doing all the traditional things. But yeah, I think when it comes to certain things, like your kids or your dog, like if somebody was like, hey, don't walk Cheryl like that, I'd be like, what? That's my dog. So I don't know. I just think that it was messy, like to have that fight at that engagement party, to that beautiful like engagement party, you know, where Chanel dressed like like a bride model. I don't know. I think it's another thing that got completely blown out of proportion for the show, obviously. But yeah, I think no kid talk. Don't tell me how to raise my kids.
Don't tell me how to raise my kids. But you mentioned before Ayan's fashion choices. I mean, even just going to the jewelry district where they were wearing this gigantic train. I mean, she's really like proves. I think she's a great housewife. I really do.
So her line in the beginning, because you're basic. You don't like me because you're basic. I can't get enough of her. I think those are the personalities that make us watch the show, right? Like, what's it like to just love yourself so much?
So much.
She talks to herself like, la, 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 I love myself. Like, what's that like? I would love to feel that. But yeah, I think, you know, they can work it out. They've been friends for a long time. Also, Sarah's one of the most beautiful people I've ever,
gorgeous.
Ever seen. Like, just gorgeous. And I want to go to Dubai and party with those women so bad.
Are you liking this season? Because some people are like, it's, I flip flop back and forth. Obviously, it takes us some time to get to know these women. We've never seen them before, besides Caroline. But what are your overall thoughts?
I'm loving it just because I watch it kind of because I salivate over their clothes and their locations. Like, and Dubai, just kind of getting to see that, women are like super successful there now, and the change of the world in itself. And I don't know, just the locations. And I love both the Carolines. They're just so luxurious.
It really is. It really is. All right, let's head on over to Beverly Hills because, oh my God, this season is just so good. Lisa Rinna's wine tasting. Well, first of all, would you buy some Rinna Rosé?
Yes. I have Luann's Fosé in my fridge right now. It's actually pretty delicious. Yes. I have her lip stuff on. I am a supporter of the Rinna all the way, and of the Hamlin too. So.
Gotta love some Harry Hamlin when he makes an appearance. But were you supportive of Lisa in that moment with Sutton at the end of the episode, kind of going in on her after they had this lunch where they kind of squashed everything? And now, did it seem like Sutton was right when she was like, "You're only doing this because now you have an audience"?
I hate to say it, but she was like. But also, she's drinking,
yes,
and she was kind of almost owning it, going like, I'm drunk. Like, when you get like that and you actually want to say something to your friend, but you don't really get it out.
Yeah.
And I think she still had a little residual, stuff that she needed to get out. So she did it. I mean, it was larger than I expected. It was like, I don't think I've ever talked to any of my friends like that, but we still have time.
So. Right, we still have time. I always think that every time I watch an episode, I'm like, I would never speak to my friends like this, but I guess that's what makes good TV.
Yeah, and I think they get flared up, alcohol, the cameras, and then I think, with stuff with family, everybody was really sensy. That's like the line that you can't cross with Housewives. Like when you mess with Harry and her kids, like... in Elton John, you can't mess with Elton. But yeah, it was a big. She got a little bit big, but she was did. So I'll blame it on the alcohol.
Do you feel like Sutton is a liability when it comes to friendship?
She's been I never want to shit talk because I think we could actually get along. Just two Southern ladies, but it's been a hard season for her. Yeah. She's kind of been like the black sheep. Everyone's kind of giving her a hard time. And I don't know, I got turned off after the gun thing, that gun episode when she was like, well, I didn't have a gun to my head. It was like, ooh, like. Yeah,
that was a comment that it's very hard to come back from. But I do appreciate Garcelle always sticking by her because that really is what a friendship is about. Like she is her ride or die. So she's not going anywhere. So I do really like their friendship.
You know, and I like how Garcelle's kind of like this voice of reason that we all feel like she says these things like, well, what about this? You know, and every time she drops a little tiny bomb, I'm like, how are they all gonna react? I love the ticking time bomb.
I do too. What are you loving Atlanta this season? What are your thoughts on Atlanta?
I'm actually behind on Atlanta. That's the only one that I haven't like really caught up on, but I need to get back because after I watched Bluestone Manor, I was obsessed with Phaedra again. I'd just seen more Phaedra in my life. Like, I thought she made that whole thing so vibrant.
Like, she really did. I know. And she was in the press this week too, saying that she would, if she went to Dubai to be a full-time housewife on Dubai, she would definitely bring the ratings, which I agree. I think she would.
She's just so sweet. She brought such sweetness that we didn't get to see her season. Also, like seeing the women out of their own little bubble of people, seeing how different they are and like how different people make them react. I was like, Phaedra's so sweet.
Yeah, you know? Definitely. No, I'm liking Atlanta this season. I know they're about to take a big trip to Jamaica, which is going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, obviously we have Kenya and Marlo going back and forth. So it's been an intense seon so far. And Marlo. And She by Sheree is taking off. So we're good to go. Well, in our social spotlight this week, I have to talk about Yolanda Hadid, who finally returned to Instagram after a 9-month social media hiatus. She talked about how, you know, the loss of her mother and having a Lyme disease relapse gave her a lot of emotional stress. But she is back and she looks, I mean, how does she look so good after all this time? It's insane.
She drinks baby's blood. It's crazy.
It really is. But she said that she's excited to be back and see what everybody has been up to. So I don't know. I wonder if she'd ever return. I don't think so. That show left a bad taste in her mouth, but
I do not think she would come back. I think she felt it was really toxic. And also she was getting all this backlash in the public about, you know, all the stuff with her kids and the early plastic surgery and all that stuff. So I think it was probably good to have a little bit of an escape.
Yeah.
It can get a little toxic. We all know this. You have to remove yourself for little bouts of time. You have to rip my phone away from me currently. So I feel her, but I don't know. It's like to then the second that you're done, be like, and I'm back.
Right.
Like to take a photo commensurating the break is kind of like, well, isn't that the whole point?
Isn't that the whole point? Yep. Couldn't agree with you more. Well, Jade, thank you so much for running down all things Housewives with me. This was so much fun. And I hope everybody watches The Hotties on Hulu. Premieres August 16th, right?
Yes, August 16th, Hotties. And then Jaded, my comedy special, comes out August 28th.
Very nice. Jade, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly Magazine.